Each spring, throughout the state of Wisconsin, producers engage in the timeless tradition of maple syrup production. On an average year in Wisconsin, more than 1 million taps are set on an annual basis by more than 5,000 producers. Wisconsin produces more than 440,000 gallons of maple syrup annually. Maple syrup is the first harvested crop of the agricultural season and to this day is the oldest cash crop in the North American agricultural economy. A common question in the process of making syrup is what trees can be tapped for the production of maple syrup. The four primary species that are used for maple syrup production are the sugar maple, the black maple, the red maple, and the silver maple. The sugar maple is easy to identify by the leaf. The leaf of this tree is rounded by the base, extending to 5 lobes. The leaf is usually bright green with a paler green underside. The bark of the young sugar maple tree is dark gray. On mature trees, the bark is dark gray to brown and has grooves that extend vertically up the tree. The black maple looks very similar to the sugar maple. The bark of the black maple is a bit darker than the sugar maple with more pronounced and deeper grooves in the bark. The leaf of the black maple has 3 lobes instead of 5 lobes that we see on the sugar maple. The red maple is easy to identify by the bark. The bark on the young red maple is light gray in color and smooth. On older trees, the bark is darker in color with gray to black ridges and narrow scaly plates. The leaf is 2 to 6 inches wide with 3 lobes. The margins of the leaf contain small, sharp teeth. The mature leaves are light green with a whitish underside. The silver maple is also easy to identify by the bark. The bark on the young silver maple is gray with a slight red tint. On fully grown trees, the long, thin, scaly plates produce a shaggy appearance. The bark is reddish brown. The leaf of the silver maple is usually 5 to 7 inches wide with 5 lobes. The margin of this leaf contains fine teeth. The mature leaves are pale green with a silvery underside, hence the name silver maple. Why is sap sweet? The tree conducts photosynthesis during the summer, which creates starch. The tree stores the starch it creates in the summer in the root system of the tree. Late fall and early into the winter, the starch is converted to sugar, which protects the tree from the cold. In the Midwest, the maple season will typically be from the middle of February to the middle of April, depending on where you are in the region and your local weather conditions. Sap flow is dependent upon the freeze-thaw cycle. This cycle will need the temperature to rise above 32 degrees during the day and fall below 32 degrees in the evening. During the evening, or when the temperature falls below 32 degrees, the tree enters a state of vacuum, drawing the sugar that is stored in the root system of the trees up into the stem, protecting the tree from the cold. During the day, or when the temperatures rise above 32 degrees, the opposite action takes place. The tree develops pressure as the temperature rises, forcing the sap down the tree toward the root system. This chart has been copied from the 3rd edition of the North American Maple Syrup Producers Manual. This chart has been developed by university researchers to give producers conservative and standard tapping guidelines depending on the health of the tree and the production method. This manual can be downloaded for free at the website listed below. The start of the tapping process begins with the measurement of the tree diameter at breast height to determine how many taps it can sustainably support. A 9-inch diameter tree at breast height can support 1 tap. An 18 to 22 inch diameter or larger tree at breast height can support 2 taps. The tap hole is drilled into the tree at a 5 to 10 degree uphill angle to allow sap to drain out the tap. The tap hole is drilled into the tree at a depth of 1.5 to 2 inches in depth. The tap is then inserted into the tree and a small 8-ounce hammer is used to set the tap into the tree. With the tap set into the tree, the producer then can attach a tubing line, bucket, or bag holder depending upon the collection method that they are using. An average maple tree will produce approximately 10 gallons of sap per tap using gravity methods of sap collection. Commercial producers that use modern high vacuum methods of sap collection increase the yields of sap by 50 to 60% over gravity methods of sap collection. The sap from a maple tree is usually about 2 bricks or 2% sugar. It will take 43 gallons of 2 bricks maple sap to make 1 gallon of 66 bricks maple syrup. Another modern tool that is used to reduce the processing time of maple syrup is the reverse osmosis machine. This machine uses a high-pressure pump to force sap through a semi-permeable membrane which can remove anywhere from 50 to 95% of the water before boiling. Maple sap can be processed in a variety of different ways. The most common method for the hobbyist is to simply boil the sap until it reaches 66 bricks, which is the minimum density for finished maple syrup. The boiling can be done in a variety of different methods, from boiling sap on a pan over an open fire to using a more traditional evaporator. The evaporator uses heat to boil the sap, which removes the water in the sap in the form of steam. As the water is removed from the sap, the natural sugars become more concentrated. The boiling of the sap caramelizes the sugars and brings out the delicate signature maple taste. The evaporation process is used to turn 2 bricks maple sap into the 66 bricks maple syrup. Once the syrup has reached 66 bricks, the syrup should be filtered to remove the sugar sand or niter from the syrup prior to bottling. Sugar sand and niter form during the evaporation process and precipitate out as their concentration increases. Filtering can be accomplished in many different ways, from a simple filter bag to a pressurized filter. When your syrup is filtered, it is time to bottle. The safest minimum temperature is 180 degrees Fahrenheit. If maple syrup is heated over 200 degrees Fahrenheit, we can develop sugar sand or niter, causing your recently filtered syrup to become cloudy in appearance. Maple syrup is completely natural and unrefined. Maple syrup has a higher nutritional value than all other common sweeteners. Maple syrup contains numerous phenolic compounds commonly found in plants and agricultural products such as berries, tea, red wine, and flaxseed. Maple syrup can be enjoyed in a variety of different ways. Maple syrup is more than a staple at the breakfast table. It can be used as a direct replacement for white sugar in baking. Maple syrup can also be made into a variety of different products such as maple cream, maple sugar, maple candy, maple suckers, maple cotton candy, and maple coated nuts. We hope you enjoyed this video on maple syrup production. For more information, please reach out to the Wisconsin Maple Syrup Producers Association or visit our website listed below.